Alright, today I'm working on a 2014 Subaru Outback. It has the traction light. This one was in an accident. We reset the module for them. So you can see there's no airbags. No airbag light. The guy did replace the wheel airbag and clock spring in the back there. And so this is right there. I got the vehicle pulled up. I go to brake control, ABS. So I got the steering angle sensor malfunction. So I'm gonna go back and check the live data. And as you can see right there, the angle sensor it's out of range right now. Let me shut the engine off. Back on. Right there, it's at 358 degrees. So when I turn it to the right, that's how far it goes in. Then when I turn it to the left, it just keeps going until it gets out of range. Right there, 719 is the furthest. And when I go let's get out and go to hot function, steering angle sensor. Right there it says misalignment, range of steering angle sensor exceeds repair capacity. So basically it's churned 360 degrees to the left too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this airbag, remove the clock spring, and there should be a little tang sticking out for the steering angle sensor. I'm not 100%. I've done this several times on Hondas. This is actually quite common after people replace the clock spring, and the steering angle sensor is attached to the clock spring, and it's typically churned one way or another too much. So I'm going to get in there and I'm going to remove this airbag, and I'll show you how it looks in. Before I remove the steering wheel and the airbag, I'm going to show you one more thing here. I'm going to go to back into brake control module. And I'm actually going to set the steering wheel to 0 degrees with their steering angle sensor. Reset it. I'm going to turn it 360 degrees to the right. Right there, it's at 0 degrees. As you can see, it's aligned. I turned it one turn to the right, and as you can see, the traction light is on. I'm gonna back out of here, go back to the calibration area. I'm gonna recalibrate it. So right now the computer is detecting that it's not out of range at 0 degrees. right there. Okay. So the lights just flashed and then went away. Alright, as you can see, the light went away. But check this out. So turn it to the right, that's all you got, because I already had it turned to the right to get it to 0 degrees. Now the light is still off. Let's turn it to the left. And boom, it's out of range. And the computer detected it. So the steering angle sensor is working properly. It's just 1 degree off. Oh. Let's see, North America. And the code came back up. So I'm going to pull the airbag and the steering wheel off and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so these airbags are kind of hard to pull out. I found the best way is to release the bottom first, and then you could, here, let me turn on the flashlight, and then you could kind of peel back and you'd kind of see that metal rod right there. So what I did was I just pushed that rod. It'd be easier to use a pick of some sort. Just push this rod to the side and that will release the right side. And then same thing on this side. You could see it. You could see it right there. Alright, I released it. It's kind of hard doing it with one hand, so that's the idea right there. Just get, I didn't really get the best tool. Get a nice pick and just pry it to the side. What it does is release it right there on the bottom. And this bottom one, right there. Alright, that was just a quick tip. Now I'm gonna remove these cables. Make sure you don't break these, because if it's gonna break or if it's gonna be missing, you'll have an airbag light for a short in one of these circuits, because this clip pushes the shorting clip to the side, unshorting the circuit. It's like a little protection feature that they built in. Yeah, basically you need to remove these clips, just about that much, and then just carefully pry out the airbag, and then wiggle this worn ground loose. My bottom was actually, this tab was on the other side of this little tang. I was wondering why my bottom wasn't clipped in. The guy that worked on this previously, I guess he had a hard time removing this one and pushed it down too far and it slipped past this point. So I got it popped back in place, and so right there. So right there. I typically use a torque screwdriver because it's flat and it won't slip off. A little bit bigger one would have helped, but this one worked. Alright, I got the steering wheel removed. No need to get a steering wheel puller. I just always grab firmly both sides of the steering wheel and just kind of wiggle back and forth, alternating, you know, your right hand forward, left back, and then the opposite kind of back and forth, and usually wiggles it right off. I have never actually used a steering wheel puller in my life. I've been working on cars for over 10 years, so just a quick tip there. Alright, I got the steering wheel removed. This is what it looks like. I've already pulled out the 2 screws, and then this it should just separate fairly easily. I think this should be able to pull out like that. Help a little bit, yep. I'm just going to leave that there. It's not in the way. I'm going to go ahead and unplug this plug right here. You just pull back on this little slide. It's not a traditional push kind, it's just you pull back. And that looks like it, just 2 plugs. Make sure you don't lose track of this position. My wheels are straight ahead, and the clock spring, this is the center. That way it doesn't rip the ribbon. So there's one clip on top, one right here, and then one right under here. Okay, it looks like there's one more plug. Alright, so that looks like it's the clock spring, and this is the steering angle sensor. So I'm gonna have to separate it. Alright, so I separated it. It looks like there's about 6 clips total holding it. So these are the tangs that I was talking about. Stick out and hold onto the clock spring. So we need to twist it. Alright, so this is how it sits in the car. So we need to go 360 degrees clockwise. So right there. Alright, so that should just be it. I'm gonna pop it back. Got it popped back into the clock spring, and I'm just gonna reinsert it. And plug the 3 connectors in. This is for the clock spring. Alright, now I'm just going to reassemble everything, put the steering wheel back in, pop the airbag back in, and then I'll show you the rest of the steps. Alright, so I accidentally started recording, or so I thought, and it wasn't recording. So I got it calibrated. As you could see, 0 point will be finished, but yeah, it finished, and I cleared the codes. Light went away, and as you can see, when I turn left, no light. Turn right, no light. So there you go, problem solved. Hope you enjoyed this video. I've ran into this issue probably about 5-6 times in the past couple of years. It's fairly common amongst rebuilders. So like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.